it's been kind of a weird season for the Raiders, to say the least. They've had so many controversies and so many up and down games and great performances and terrible performances. It has been a wild ride. But this is a team that has potential, has talent, and has the ability to turn their franchise around. Of course, they were kind of like one of the laughing stocks of the league during the 2000s and some of the 2010s, obviously. But they've gotten this ship steered in the right direction, even though their first round picks historically, at least recently, have not been very good. They've drafted very well outside of the first round. So we can kind of combine those two elements and bring it all together. I think we can make a very good Raiders team in this realistic rebuild. I have added in my 2022 NFL draft class. People keep asking me what's happened with this file on PS5. It just keeps getting deleted. The file share is so beyond broken on PS5 that half the time you can't even upload files, and when you do, they just get randomly deleted after some amount of time. So it's intolerable, but it's unfortunately what we have to deal with. And even my file was super broken, so I had to download a different one from ATL Falcons, who's a fan of the channel. So if you're watching this, thank you very much. And I've changed the overalls and development traits and things back to where I think they should be, but I'm gonna try and re-upload this on PS5. It's gonna get deleted. By the time you're watching this, it's probably not even there. So I don't know what to do about that. This video is sponsored by Bounty Sports. We are working with them again, and for good reason. They're the easiest, most seamless company I've worked with in terms of getting into daily fantasy sports. If you're already familiar with daily fantasy sports, it's going to be really quick for you to pick up. It's obviously very, very simple, but they are really low stakes as well. So it's easy to just pick up and get into. But if you're not familiar with DFS, believe me, this is the most seamless way possible to bridge that gap. Follow the link in the description. You'll be able to sign up. bountysports.com. You just enter your email and you enter your name, some information, and of course, referral code Bengal. That link is down in the description. But let's go ahead and get into a contest here. Again, everything's pretty low stakes on here, so you're really not going to lose too much, but you do have the opportunity to gain quite a bit as you have over $1,000 in cash prizes. Probably my favorite part about Bounty Sports, though, is that you're encouraged to pick underdogs. As you can see, you get 1 point if you pick the team that's favored. However, it ranges, and you can get so many points for correctly picking an underdog, and I've decided to do that a couple times here, picking the underdog Ravens, Giants. They're my favorite team. They suck, but I could see them winning a close game against the Eagles. I picked the Bears. I picked Washington football team. Now, I don't necessarily think that those teams are certainly going to win, but I do think there's a high enough chance that it's worth rolling the dice if I get one of these correct to get a ton of points. Contests will usually range from $1 to $25, but as you can see, sometimes there are a few high rollers like this $50 entry head-to-head. I've actually made a slight tweak, but you can actually hop in and play this contest against me as well. It's only a $4 entry, but when you use the link in the description and use referral code Bengal, you get $5 absolutely free. You don't need to deposit anything. You just get $5 to play with, and you can sign up and see if you can take down and, have a better score than I have. So thank you to Bounty Sports for sponsoring the video. Go to bountysports.com. Link is in the description. And remember, referral code Bengal. $5 for free, no deposit required. Now, this will be a realistic rebuild, so I will be fairly limited with what I can do in regards to things like trading aging players for picks and other talented players. And a guy like Derek Carr is going to put me in a very tough decision. He's 30 years old, and he's an 82 overall. He's had a pretty good season in real life, and he's been pretty good the past couple of years. However, one thing that Derek Carr does not have going for him is he constantly looks to just get the safe completion rather than ever stretching the field, and he leaves yards and he leaves plays on the field consistently. But there are some things that we need to say for Derek Carr, which not a lot of people are talking about. His entire offensive line looks different this year because you lose Rodney Hudson, you lose a really, really good guard in Gabe Jackson, and Rodney Hudson was one of the best centers in the league, right? So this line is not good. Obviously, we got to touch on Henry Ruggs real quick. Terrible tragedy. I usually make a bunch of jokes about all these crazy things. I just don't really think that's funny to joke about, so I'm going to avoid those. But yeah, Henry Ruggs, idiot, moron, was talented on the field, and it is a big loss for the Raiders offense. Even though his numbers weren't insane, he did so much for that offense, drawing attention. And it clearly leaves a hole that this team needs to figure out how to replace. Hunter Renfrow continues to be very, very good. He should be about 50 years old at this point, but somehow he's only 25. He's a really, really good route runner, and I think we'll be able to develop him into a really solid receiver 2 or 3. That being said, we need to get better at the position in general. Deshaun Jackson is just not the same player he used to be. He's still really fast, but he just isn't a dynamic playmaker the same way they used to be on a down-to-down basis. And I keep waiting for Bryan Edwards to take that step. He just seems like he's never a huge part of the offense. And that makes me sad because I feel like he can be really good. Darren Waller is one of the best tight ends in football. Foster Moreau's pretty good, but this O-line needs to be completely revamped. I like Colton Miller. Richie Incognito is good, but also like 38. So he's not going to be a long-term option. We need to completely overhaul this offensive line. Maybe we can develop Alex Leatherwood. Of course, first-round pick for the Raiders this past season. I don't know, man. I mean, what else can we talk about? Damon Arnett, cut from the team, just waving guns on Instagram. I don't know where they find these morons, but the Raiders seem to find them more than anybody else. Maybe that's just the reputation, but it just feels like the Raiders have a knack for finding idiots. But they do find some pretty good players as well. Nate Hobbs, one of the steals of the 2021 NFL Draft. Max Crosby, steal of his draft. He's been incredible so far. Yannick Ngakoue has played unbelievably as well. This edge duo gets pressure unlike any other duo in the league right now. They really have been that good. Cleveland Ferrell is looking like a bust more and more every day. I loved him at Clemson. He probably wasn't worth the top 5 pick, and that was proven over the past couple of years. He's flashed at times, but he's also been injured. I liked him as a prospect a lot, but he just has not worked out at all. It's like that quick step that he had at Clemson off the line completely evaporated, and he never developed as a pass rusher. Casey Hayward's played amazing as well. Trayvon Mullen's a really good player. Trayvon Merrick is having an incredible rookie season, going a little bit under the radar, but we have to do a lot better here. I think Jonathan Abram has even taken a step this year, in my opinion. He just has to have that defined role. He's not an over-the-top cover player. It's just not his game. We can continue to try and develop Devon Diablo, but we got to get better at nearly every position. And it's going to start with making some tough decisions. And I think Derek Carr will be the first big one, because his contract is coming to an end in the next couple seasons. And if he's not developing, we have to look for a replacement. And you know, I hate to say it, but I think the single biggest storyline for the Raiders going forward is not even about the Raiders. It's about their opponents within the division. Because Justin Herbert is clearly going to be a superstar. At least that's what it looks like right now. Patrick Mahomes clearly is a superstar. And if the Broncos, with their immense amount of talent, can actually get a quarterback in there, the Raiders, I mean, it's not looking good for them in the AFC West going forward. So they need to start making some big changes, and quickly. This team actually did make the playoffs somehow, finishing with 9 wins. Derek Carr over 5,000 yards by a significant amount, 27 TDs though. Josh Jacobs didn't put together a great season, but of course the offensive line, not good. Hunter Renfrow put up great numbers. Of course, a lot of this is in real life numbers as well. Hoping for some development trait upgrades. Even with the lack of quarterback sacks for this team, the pressure numbers are quite good. So you can't really just look at sacks. Obviously, that's what the end goal is. The end game is actually bringing down the quarterback, but it requires a lot to make that happen. Getting pressure is the single biggest indicator of how successful an edge rusher is, not necessarily just the sack. But we'll see if we can somehow upset the Chiefs here in wild card week, and we do. The Chiefs go down, and this Raiders team, who was set up for a pretty good pick, is now into the divisional round of the playoffs, where we face the Chargers, the Titans. Can't even read. And we lose there 26-14. So this season has come to an end, but the offseason is just beginning. Patriots, Bucks, Super Bowl, and the Patriots and Bill Belichick have defeated Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. What a fun storyline that is. Let's see this first mock draft. It's been a while since we've done a realistic rebuild. So this has the Lions taking Kayvon Thibodeau, the Texans following up with Aiden Hutchinson, Jets taking Kyle Hamilton. Where are the Giants in here? Did they just win out or something? Has them taking Evan Neal and Matt Corral. Moved Evan Neal to right tackle, by the way. The reason I decided to do that was he played right tackle at Alabama 2 seasons ago, or I guess the season before this season. And pretty much all the teams that could take a tackle very high, like the Giants, like the Jets, like the Texans, maybe even, they already have left tackles. So I think he probably could be playing right tackle in his first year. So I've decided to make him a right tackle. Who does it think we're going to take? This has the Raiders taking Trevor Penning, the back end of the first. Could be an option. The FCS standout. So these are the free agents here. Some good ones. Some good ones. Not great ones, though. Not really a lot of great players on this team, and they're regressing, unfortunately. There are some great ones, though, but not a lot. Not as many as you'd prefer, as you'd want. Casey Hayward played well. He is 32. He is regressing in the game. But for another 2 years, while we wait to get some type of replacement, Casey Hayward would have been nice. He's going to test free agency. Okay. If Richie Incognito wants to stick around for another year, I would love to have him. He's a bully, and that's what we need on the offensive line. And he wants to play for a new team. This is not going well. Can't even get the punter back, AJ Cole. Well, I'm going to let everybody walk. I mean, Alec Ingold, I hate to say it. It really doesn't matter. I mean, fullbacks just don't necessarily play a ton in simulation. So I offered him a really cheap deal. Listen, we're just going to bring some guys in free agency. And it might be some of the guys that we're letting go right now. Casey Hayward could be back. Richie Incognito could be back. These are possibilities. So we do have a lot of money. Now, where do we spend that money is the big question. It's got to be Casey Hayward. Nate Hobbs should have star dev, by the way. That's got to happen. It's got to be Richie Incognito. Devin McCourty could be nice. Move Trayvon Merrick over to strong safety for a season. I'd like to get some younger players, though, who can develop a little bit more. Michael Gallup has no offers. Probably got to offer to Michael Gallup. Ooh, very successful free agency. We got everybody I went after, including bringing Casey Hayward and Richie Incognito back. We did get Michael Gallup and Jacoby Myers as well. Jacoby Myers signed a very cheap deal. And then to upgrade the defense, Leighton Vander Esch, who we just need to hope he starts playing like his rookie season again. Listen, he went to Boise State. Idaho is not too far from Nevada. We're hoping to kind of rehash some of that playing in the Mountain West region. Young Wake Who in here as well. Listen, I'm sure Leighton Vander Esch had a big game against UNLV some week. I'm sure it happened. Derek Carr did go up to superstar dev, by the way. Now, that being said, he also regressed to an 81 overall. So, quarterback's still going to be a problem for me, but receiver is less of a problem. Jacoby Myers, I got to show you this contract. I don't know why he would sign this. It's only 25. He hasn't really been amazing, but he's a good player. 5-year deal. It never even gets over $5 million annually. So I figured that would be a really good deal for him. Michael Gallup's on a 3-year contract. Not super expensive either. But this offense just got upgraded heavily. And then defensively, Max Crosby up to superstar dev. Brought in Leighton Vander Esch. Still need more help at off-ball linebacker. Corey Littleton, Nick Witkowski, and Denzel Perryman are not enough to get it done for me. D-tackle's a big need as well. But there is potential. Also went after Jack Fox and Patrick Ricard. They both declined. Did get Corey Bajorquez to be our punter, though, which will do the job. But we don't pick quite as high as I would have liked. So we'll have to see what's available. I think I'm just going to see what's available at pick number 25. As Aiden Hutchinson goes number 1 overall. The Michigan kid stays in Michigan. And Chris Olave to the Chiefs. That'd be a really good pickup for them. Here we are at 25. And we have some options. Devin Lloyd is here. Trevor Penning's here. Getting a big-time linebacker would not be bad. I think Trayvon Walker's a really good fit for the defense as well. I mean, even a developmental quarterback in Malik Willis at this point wouldn't be the worst option in the world. I think I am going to take Trevor Penning, though. Let's prioritize the offensive line this year, and we'll go Trevor Penning. Does have hidden dev, of course. He is an athletic freak. Not exactly a huge name, but someone with a whole lot of potential, and that will be our starting right tackle. Colton Miller will stay, of course, on the left side, and we'll see what's available in round 2. Ooh, Darian Kendrick to the Chiefs, just taking all the big name players. He's probably someone that's going to drop in the draft because of off the field concerns, got kicked out of Clemson. But listen, the Chiefs, they've taken some shots on fallen stars in the past. Look at Trey Smith even last year. As we'll decide what to take here with our second pick. Could go offensive line again. You know, I thought about taking Devin Lloyd in the first round. We're going to take Christian Harris here. Get another linebacker. He was going to be like the presumptive LB1 of this draft class, but didn't exactly play as well as Nakobe Dean or Devin Lloyd did. So he's dropped a little bit here. But still, young player. Some good potential. Only normal dev, but that could certainly get upgraded. Jamari Sawyer's just sitting here. Let's take him. Could potentially start right away with the state of our offensive line, so don't really mind that. Yeah, I certainly have not edited this draft class enough where it feels like mine right now, but haven't had the time. We'll be doing that ASAP, probably a big January update. But I think, what do I want here? Let's take Aeneas Smith. Kind of a fun do-it-all type player for the Aggies. He's a receiver, he's a running back, and he does have star or better development. 92 speed, 90 change of direction. And it could be a fun player, kind of like the Lynn Bowden Jr. that actually stays on the team through preseason. I'm going to try to develop Jamari Sawyer a bit as a center, but Andre James will stay the starter. I'm going to start Alex Leatherwood over Denzel Good because one is not 31 years old. Leatherwood is only 23. Richie Incognito will stay the starter. Of course, Trevor Penning's going to start over Brennan Shell. And the offense is certainly improved. And then defensively, I don't think Christian Harris is going to get a ton of playing time. I'll probably move him to right outside linebacker. But if we can somehow get him up to star dev, all of a sudden we got a really, really good player in him. So maybe I will try and start him. But we got Haskell Garrett later in the draft as well. D-tackle is obviously a pretty large need. I will say that. So this will be the team for season number 2, but kind of season number 1. Listen, we had a long way to go, but we have some pieces in place. So now we just have to hope they can be good. That's it. We got Alex Leatherwood, 2500 XP. He was working with Richie Incognito. Now, you can ask Jonathan Martin. I think he prefers this style of love to Richie Incognito's tough love in Miami, but I will simulate to the midseason mark now and update you guys there. 3-4 at the midseason mark. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. I should have focused on my freaking scouting before the start of the year. The focus position, oh, it's Charles Woodson. So it's going to be corner, and is it not safety? He doesn't have safety too? Oh, only the guy that was an awesome safety for the Raiders in the second half of his career, or at least the back end of his career, doesn't have any ability to scout a safety. Okay. It's not that we don't need corner. It's just we need quarterback more, I think. And I don't know that I feel comfortable trading. I don't know that I feel comfortable trading Derek Carr. I just don't feel like that's right. So the strengths of the Southeast are QB. So we're going to go ahead and change that. if I can. It might not even let me. No, I can't. Okay, so we have 2 corners inside the top 5 and 2 quarterbacks inside the top 5. There is potential here. Amen for Marshall Chambers. You guys know me. I have a hard time not taking awesome corners when I see them. He's got deep play rec, but he looks really good otherwise. What about a QB? We have some potential here. He's not the best athlete, but everything else looks pretty good. Sean Allen, I wish I knew his type because we see B zone coverage is pretty good. He's a really good athlete. He's also got deep play rec. It's really odd. I want to know more about him. What about Nick Sweet? Don't really know anything about him. He doesn't really look that good to me other than A, awareness, which I don't really care about. I just need to know more about these guys. That's the thing. A, throw accuracy deep. He doesn't really have a big time arm though. That's a lot of A's though. It's not everything matters. I think what I'm going to do is do 3 quarterbacks in this first focus players at week 11. And then in the one of the offseason, I'll do 2 quarterbacks and a corner. I already know the top corner is going to be really good, but I want to know about the second one to know whether I need to be in position to trade up or not. Ooh, big time free agents. Like this is a large free agent class for us, or at least guys who will be. Do we have a lot of money at least? We do. We have so much money. Okay, well, Max Crosby is the biggest priority. He's really not crazy expensive considering his position and talent. So Crosby's taken care of. Josh Jacobs, I think I can do this. Josh Jacobs is back. Ngakoue on a 3-year deal. I can handle that. It's going to be another guy that regresses, but he'll be good for a few more years, I think. So Trayvon Mullen wanted more money. Hunter Renfro's back. And this is the big one. What do we do with Derek Carr? He wants a 2-year deal worth $59 million. I'll do that. He wants to make more money. I don't know about that one. Jonathan Abram is pretty affordable, so we'll bring him back. And then I don't know about Kenyon Drake. Don't know that we need him. I don't really know that we need anybody in here. Maybe Foster Moreau would be okay, but we can't negotiate with him yet. So I'm comfortable with where things are. It's just time to simulate to the playoffs and see how we're doing. Finished with 9 wins, did not make the playoffs. It's a very competitive AFC West. The Chiefs won the division with only 10 wins. And as you can see, Tom Brady threw for 5,500 yards. Derek Carr, down year compared to last year. Of course, the real life stats were in there as well. Josh Jacobs was very, very good though. He's starting to amp things up. And then 2 receivers with 1,027 yards, Darren Waller and Michael Gallup. 4 touchdowns for Waller, 9 for Gallup, 7 for Renfro at over 1,000 yards. Weird numbers. Weird numbers. Defensively, Leighton Vander Esch led the team in tackles. He had 6 for loss. Crosby, 16 tackles for loss, also had 9 sacks, but it was 14.5 from Yannick Ngakoue that led the team. And Carl Nassib had 10. Huh. Don't have anything to say about that one. 4 picks for Casey Hayward Jr. Not getting canceled today. You can forget about it. Well, I mean, we don't have a playoff, so it's on to the next offseason. The Chiefs won the Super Bowl, though. Kyler Murray, MVP. Sam Howell, Rookie of the Year with Washington Football Team. And Christian Harris won Defensive Rookie of the Year for us. So there's a realistic shot that he got upgraded to Star Dev, which would significantly increase his value to me. Let's see the offense. Josh Jacobs up to Superstar. Trevor Penning revealed Superstar. 79 overall for him. So he'll be great. I mean, our bookends are awesome. Leatherwood's developing a little bit. He'll be our starter, which is what's going to happen. Andre James is okay. Probably need to upgrade at center and left guard going forward. I like the offense. Show me Star Dev for Christian Harris. Let's go. Also, Leighton Vander Esch up to Superstar. Love to see that. Don't have another ability slot for him yet, though. But he is developing very nicely. What is he, 27? 27. Christian Harris up to star dev is big. He's only a 75 overall. It's going to go up slightly. Well, I guess not. It's not. It's going to stay a 75 overall. We need to upgrade that coverage and make him better off the ball. Corey Littleton, got to do better than that. D tackle is a huge position to need. Man, I wish Nate Hobbs was better. He's been lights out in the nickel for the Raiders this year. He's been awesome. Casey Hayward, Trayvon Mullen, Derek Carr. Derek Carr just wanting more money makes me upset. I would give you a 1-year deal worth more money. He wants to play for a new team. Listen, I gave him over $32.5 million per year. He said no. Do I franchise tag Derek Carr? It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for Derek Carr. Listen, he's fine. Trayvon Mullen returns. But at 82 overall, man, at 32. That's just, it feels like a mistake. We have the money to do it, though. I can't even look. God, it's so awful. Quentin Nelson is in free agency, as is Aaron Rodgers. Okay, well, free agent number 1 on the list has to be Big Q. No doubt about it. I'll give him whatever he wants. Okay, so offering Casey Hayward a contract as well to bring him back. There are some really intriguing players. Like the idea of playing Jonah Williams at guard, I like a lot. But we have Alex Leatherwood. I'm going after Quentin Nelson. I really need a center more than anything. And Jason Kelsey is just so old. Interesting development. I got Montez Sweat. I got Quentin Nelson. Jason Kelsey rejected. I didn't give him a top-of-the-line offer. It was just somebody that would be an immediate upgrade over Andre James that wouldn't be a long-term option because he's so old. He's 10 years older than Andre James is, who is still not great, but is good enough. And now with Richie Incognito gone, guess he retired, we have Quentin Nelson. Pretty big upgrade, I would say. And the offensive line is starting to come together. It's starting to look pretty good. And then defensively, you're like, why would you get Montez Sweat? You have Yannick Ngakoue, you have Max Crosby. Well, Ngakwe's 28, but I have a plan. I have a plan for this. And based on the personnel, I know I need to tackle quite a bit. But based on the personnel, we're making a transition to a 3-4. Yeah, I'm sure you're waiting for that if you've seen the videos before. But I think it fits the personnel pretty well. Max Crosby's going to play that 3-4 defensive end role, and he can shift to the edge at times. And then Montez Sweat, he's 260 pounds. Pretty big guy, could do that as well. And Ngakoue shifting to the edge. And we just need to pick up some guys that can play on the nose, which is, I mean, Greg Gaines could do it. We could get the beast out of Charlotte, Larry Ogunjobi. Probably get both of them. Greg Gaines to be our nose tackle. And then I need one more defensive lineman. Zach Allen would be okay. Cardinals want to keep him. But I think I like Zach Allen. Casey Hayward rejected. We did get Greg Gaines and Zach Allen, though, so corner is quite a big need now that Casey Hayward has rejected. Kind of a dick move, to be honest. But this team's going to look very good in 3-4. And people told me it's disguised 3-4 that works well with Baltimore playbook. So we're going to try that. There we go. I think Montez Sweat with 91 speed would work pretty well at outside linebacker. So yeah, not a cover player, but he's not going to be asked to do that because Divine Diablo will come in, former safety, to play that linebacker role when and it's crazy that he, by the way, at 6'3", 226 is as fast as Montez Sweat is at 6'6", 260. Montez Sweat ran like what, 4.37 at 260 pounds, some crazy 40 time. But yeah, so Devon Diablo will play outside linebacker, and Montez Sweat will continue to be a pass rusher when we need him to be. But I think that makes the team look very nice. Unique Ngakoue, of course, the outside linebacker as well. And it's just corner that probably is our biggest need right now on defense. And offensively, center and quarterback. Marshall Chambers up to 95%. So let's do, so we don't really even need to do the corners. Sean Allen's man-to-man. We saw his zone coverage was pretty good. So having Charles Woodson look at the corners has worked out very well for us. Although I'm probably going to have to fire him after this, as we'll focus on other positions. So we looked at the top couple of quarterbacks. Let's do the bottom quarterbacks. Charles Aldridge was one I looked at, or Aldridge. NFL draft time, we pick at number 18. Although I would consider moving up for the right player. I didn't even look at Jason Bradford at all. I'm not moving up to number 1, but he looks good. I don't know that he's the best player in the class. I do want to look at these quarterbacks a lot. Now, I didn't do any in-depth scouting on Anthony Weber, which I guess I'm glad that I didn't. He's not a good athlete. Yeah, I guess I kind of am glad I missed him. I stopped at Aldridge. I keep mixing it up because we have that right tackle in Lions franchise. If you guys watch those where we play all the games, Jamie Aldridge. And it took me long enough to get that because I was saying Aldridge every time. And now there's an Aldridge and I got to stop calling him Aldridge. Nick Sweet. A lot of joke potential here with the name. Could be a sweet pick. Really not a good athlete. And we don't know enough about his throwing ability to be comfortable moving up for him. John Beckham is a strong arm guy. And we know his accuracy is pretty good. Yeah, elite throw power is nice. The throw accuracies are good enough. He's probably QB1 for me right now. Blake Holiday has potential. There's a lot to like. We know he's going to be pretty accurate. We know he's fairly athletic. The arm is about average, which I don't love. And then Charles Aldridge is maybe the best athlete of the bunch. But we don't know anything. At 80%, we don't know anything about his accuracy. Not even one thing. He has quite good player notes, though, in terms of what his traits will be. It's probably between Beckham and Aldridge for me. Like, I know Holiday's got big-time accuracy. So he's got... I know, he's in the conversation, too. I don't know. Tough call at quarterback. What about a corner? Let me look at these guys. I mean, we already knew Marshall Chambers was going to be really good. And he is. Now, how high would I trade up for him? Probably not very high. And it's not because he's not good. It's just because I don't think it's worth it. Sean Allen is probably the first guy I would consider going after. Still looks really good. He's faster than the other corner. We just don't know what his man coverage is. Carl Huffman actually seems really good value down the board. Gonna have to remember that one. This center, CJ Douglas, looks really good as well. It's gonna be a tough decision. It's gonna be a really tough decision. I mean, a pass block from Riley Mays. Ooh. He might be the center that we take. Yeah, probably gonna have to be. Just because we won't have to trade up for him, probably. Yeah. Lions go with Jason Bradford, who I think could be a bust. There goes the first corner, Marshall Chambers. Greg Booth. The Seahawks take Nick Sweet. And this would be the spot if we wanted to move up for John Beckham. This would be the spot to do it. He's got a big arm. He's a decent athlete, nothing crazy. This is the trade we're making happen. Number 18 this year, a 3 this year, and a 2 next year to move up to number 5, where we are going to take that quarterback. I think he's going to be the best QB. It's going to be close. And now, best QB now versus best QB in 2 years could be different depending on development trait. Like Blake Holiday also looks really, really good. Like, he could be the best QB for sure. The one thing that turns me off Blake Holiday is the throw power of solid versus the cannon that John Beckham have. And Charles Aldridge, like, he's got a solid arm as well. It's just not amazing. So I want the big time arm, and I think we can develop the accuracy. So we're going with John Beckham from LSU. Welcome to the team. Normal development. 95 throw power, though. It just depends on what the accuracies are. You guys know if you've seen any of these rebuilds. All you have to do is start that quarterback, and they're going to put up numbers. It's very easy to get up to star dev, and then superstar, and then superstar X Factor. It's just 1 year, 1 year, 1 year. So we'll have to see if that was the right call. We're just not going to be in position for Sean Allen. As good as I think he's going to be, and I really do think he's going to be a really good player, I prioritize corner, or quarterback, excuse me, not corner. And there is another corner that's pretty good down the board. Was it Josh Woodard? No, I think it was Carl Huffman, right? Yeah, it was Carl Huffman. And I don't know that he's going to be anything special, right? But I think he's going to be good value for the pick. Like low 70s, hopefully hidden dev on him. And that's 28 picks away. And then I want that center. Not CJ Douglas, but Riley Mays, who should be available with our second round pick. Carl Huffman went at pick number 25. We just weren't going to be able to get in position to get that guy unless we traded up like pretty high back into the draft, obviously, which it just wasn't going to happen. There goes the first center. We should have the option to take the one that I want here in just 10 picks. Just want to make sure, because obviously it's worth it to move up like 10 spots if I have to. But I don't. Nah, you know what? If he's available at the Texans pick, which he should be, I'll trade up. Yeah, let's do it with the Texans. Moving up 8 spots. Shouldn't take a ton. Adding in a 6 and a 7 gets it done. Moving up from 50 to 42. And I think this should be our new starting center. He looked pretty good. So I think the value is going to be there. Welcome to the team. Riley Mays, pass protector. He's got a pass block. Really good athlete. He's got solid strength, although nothing amazing. But really, really good pass blocker. Does have hidden dev. 86 strength, 73 speed. I think that's a good pick. Take Frank Huff here. Around 3 to 4 projected guy. Looks to be all right. Normal dev. But he is going to be a backup defensive tackle. Hoping to get lucky. Didn't seem like it happened there. And that'll be the draft for me. Choked there a bit. All right, let's see it. Draft recap. Who do we miss out on? These corners are going to be amazing, by the way. Quarterbacks is 75 overall. That's pretty good. Accuracy is not bad. He's wearing number 20. Oh, no. Kind of looks like Marcus Allen to me. Not wearing number 20. He'd be wearing number 32, right? But number 20 for a quarterback? What are we doing? He's not going to start year 1 because we have Derek Carr. But that's just probably not a contract we're going to pick back up. There's just no numbers in the teens. We're number 99. Mays is a 72. That's at least as good as Andre James right now, and it's a better dev trait, and he's younger. He's going to start. Okay, so we knew this corner was going to be really good. He's an 80 overall. Yeah, he's a beast. We knew that. We knew that. Jason Bradford was better than I thought. Nick Sweet, 72. Blake Holiday was a 71. So that's significantly worse. Sean Allen was a 79. I figured he was going to be quite good as well. 95 speed. Coverage is quite good as well. Really well balanced. Even Josh Woodard's pretty good. Where's the other quarterback? This corner is pretty good. Charles Aldridge was a 72. We got the best quarterback in the draft pretty easily, it seems like. And then Carl Huffman was a 76. He would have been really good value. Did have normal dev. Yeah, he looked really good, and he was. So I actually think we did pretty well. Would have been nicer to get that corner, but didn't feel like trading up for him for whatever reason. Just trying to keep things pretty realistic. So we moved up for a quarterback. Wasn't going to move back up. Hate to do it. I'm firing Charles Woodson. No, I'm not, because we still need corner. I didn't draft one. All right, Charles. We're hiring again. Hey, Charles, welcome back. Great. The strength of this class, our quarterback, right after we drafted one. We do need defensive tackle, though, pretty bad. So, we're going to get my man Preston Lee going after those nationally. No. Maybe. I don't see corner here as a strength. Maybe there's a good one, but I'm not sure. Wow, a lot of quarterbacks. John Tolbert, Texas A&M. They might call that Central for some reason. I mean, I guess Texas is Central. Yeah. I just think of it as Southeastern Conference, even though I live in Houston and College Station is west of me, but also north. Marquise Maxwell, Southeast. So there's really only 2 big D tackles in this class. Okay. Things are actually going really well here in season 3. 5-1. We have, I don't know, not a great team statistically, but we're winning. Okay. I mean, that's fine with me. Number 5 defense, actually. The offense seems to be pretty bad, though. That's just going to have to be all right. We are going to do corner for the National Scout. Why would the National Scout be... Oh, my gosh. Oh, why was tier 3? Oh, because I fired Charles Woodson. Oh, that's devastating. So my National Scout is... Oh, geez. I mean, left end and right end are still important for this 3-4 because they can play defensive end still or D tackle, depending. But the corners I'm worrying about now. I'm annoyed at this. Did I miss this guy, Jeremy Blackburn? I must have missed him the first time around because he seems to be one of the best D tackles in the class. I could have just missed him and you guys are making fun of me. That's probably true. There's John Tolbert. Is he good? Has potential. Oh, also Michael Gallup. Superstar dev now. Completed his breakout challenge. It's pretty helpful. 7-2. Nice. Okay. So, I want to further scout D tackle. So, Blackburn and John Tolbert. And then maybe I'll do... I mean, corner's going to be pretty well scouted. So maybe I don't have to do corner, but I'll do the last D tackle. Let's do that. 8-2. This team will not stop winning. Darren Waller, Derek Carr is going to be probably gone. Andre James going to go. John Simpson probably going to go. We actually don't have a lot of free agents. It's really just Darren Waller. We don't really need Brian Edwards, I don't think. Let's do a 5-year deal. Feels like a lot. A 5-year deal feels like too much. Can I give you... You know what? All right, Darren Waller. You've earned it. Welcome back. 13-4. Now, the Chiefs went 14-3, but what a season from this Raiders team. We finished with the number 7 offense and the number 7 defense. Okay. Well, our defense isn't even, like, fully built yet. Colin Kaepernick had a very good year. Where's Colin Kaepernick? I don't even know. Derek Carr, 19 picks to 30 touchdowns. Doesn't look awful, but that turnover ratio isn't ideal. Josh Jacobs continues to ball. Michael Gallup, 1,400 yards and 10 touchdowns. Amazing season for Michael Gallup. Hunter Renfrow was quite good, but Darren Waller had 10 touchdowns. We might be in store for an offensive playbook change to get Darren Waller more involved, like Kansas City and Travis Kelce. Zach Allen, 17 tackles for loss, including 4 sacks. Max Crosby had 12.5 sacks, 9.5 for Montez Sweat, 9 for Ngakoue. Crosby worked as the rush D tackle, by the way. Although I'm not sure if I want to do that this next season. Did seem to work out pretty well. 5 picks for Jonathan Abram as well. Awesome season for us here in year 3. And we still have Derek Carr, which surprises me, honestly. I didn't think I would hold on to him, but here we are. As we have won the wild card and now play the Colts in the divisional. We're up to an 87 overall. That offense really is carrying our overall, though. And the Colts beat us in the divisional 48-34. And that ends our season. But I think next season we're going to take it a bit slower in the playoffs. Maybe jump in, watch some of these as hopefully we compete for a Super Bowl. Chiefs beat the Cowboys, and Patrick Mahomes won MVP. No Raiders anywhere in there. Do I want to bring anybody back? Is Derek Carr still an 80? He's an 81. I don't know. I think the entire reason we drafted a quarterback was to start him this season. But also, if we're on the verge of competing for a Super Bowl potentially, who's better right now? It's Derek Carr. Like, no question. Who would be better at the end of the year, though? Maybe John Beckham. I mean, the accuracy definitely goes to Derek Carr. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we'll tag him. Michael Gallup up to Superstar X Factor, by the way. It's not really a twist I saw coming in this, as he is only an 85 overall, but has Superstar X Factor. The O-line is looking really nice. And then defensively, am I missing any changes? I don't think so. I think everything's the same. So that quarterback may take over someday, next year, the year after, who knows. But Derek Carr will be staying under contract at least for this season. Welcome back, Derek. And yeah, I mean, I'm as surprised as he is probably. Okay, so I got Bryce Hall and Fletcher Cox in free agency. I figure Bryce Hall is kind of an underrated pickup, and now corner is way less of a need. He's only 26 years old and fits his scheme really, really well. So I figure not a bad pickup to have at all. He's wearing number 16, but we can't get a quarterback with a number not in the 90s or the 20s. Nate Hobbs still here. Again, man, I wish he had star dev. He should have it. Man coverage is pretty terrible for him. But Fletcher Cox is an awesome addition on the defensive line right now. That doesn't mean I won't draft the D tackle. I still could and just play him at right end or bring Montez Sweat back down. Maybe we look to get an outside linebacker. There's potential, but all I know is this defense is playing remarkably well. So we should only be going to get better in this next season. So we are very late into the first round after our success in season 3. So it would take a bit to move up. But as you can see, Jeremy Blackburn is unbelievable. Top 5 talent, and he is A, everything. Ran 4.77 with great strength, 39 reps of 225. Yeah, if ever there was a defensive tackle worth trading up for, it would be Jeremy Blackburn. So I might be about to make that happen. I also like the look of Jamal Farrell quite a bit. Pretty good athlete. Say his elite speed. I mean, he ran pretty well. I wouldn't say that's elite. But A, finesse moves is the big thing that stands out to him. John Tolbert ran 4.7 flat. 4.69 at his pro day at 300 pounds. What a demon. But he's not the guy. He's going to take 2 first-round picks to get it done. One this year, one next year, but we are moving up into the top 5. We got the Saints pick, and I think it's well worth it. As it appears, this is one of the best defensive tackles I've ever seen in the draft. Jeremy Blackburn should be an awesome addition. He's just got A, block shed, A, finesse moves, A, power moves, A, tackle, A, everything. Very fast. Quite strong as well. I feel like this is a can't-miss player. So we won't miss him. We're going to take him. Does have hidden dev. 80 speed. 93 strength. He should be quite good. Should be quite good. I would say probably like 78 to 80 power moves and then like 73-ish finesse moves. Not bad at all. Trading a 3 and a 4 this year for a 3 next year from Chicago. And that will be my draft. 79 overall for Jeremy Blackburn is pretty good. 82 power moves, even 83. It's better than I expected. The finesse moves better than I expected as well. Everything is a little bit better than I expected, and this is a very, very good player. Was he the best player in the class, though? I would say it's quite possible. No, Ben Posey. 80 overall free safety. Not the fastest, but pretty good in coverage. Really good player, but we got the second highest overall. I would say that's doing very well. Moved Jeremy Blackburn over to right end, where he is a scheme fit as well as a power rusher. And, I mean, he should be amazing. He should be amazing. So I think this team's going to be really, really, really good, which means I'm setting myself up for disappointment. It's just what's happening. But the team is looking very solid. Mays, by the way, had star dev. I think that was probably a given. But I'm excited for the potential of Jeremy Blackburn. I think he could be very, very good. Well, we already know he's really good, but I think his dev trait as well could be quite good. Now, it might end up being star. You never know. Trayvon Merrick, +5 zone coverage. Big boost for our young free safety. And I think that should probably let me go to the midseason mark. I'm just trying to see if we can see any. Yeah. Sometimes in the preseason, you get those boosts, which I think are really good for upgrading the players. So I like to take those and then simulate. So now we're doing it. Midseason mark. See you there. 4-2 at the midseason mark. Our offense is not amazing altogether, but it's still really good. Our defense continues to be awesome. Ranked number 3 in the league right now. The Bengals offense is rocking and rolling. 3rd in the league. And they're very well rounded as well. Should I try out Bengals offense more? I used to do Bengals defense a lot, maybe on Madden 21. But I haven't used their offense very much. But number 3 overall with a well-balanced passing and rushing attack feels pretty good. I'm going to keep what we have in order to get Darren Waller involved quite a bit. But maybe I'll consider that, depending on how they are at the end of the year. Ooh, UTSA running back Sincere McCormick in that draft class as well. But we will simulate to the playoffs. 4-2, leading the AFC West. I think we're going to be able to win the AFC West. I think we are. Oh, and we missed the playoffs. 22nd offense. Why? Why were we so bad? And our defense actually dropped off a bit as well, despite looking so good at the midseason mark. I don't know why we were so bad. 7th best offense in terms of yards. And then our defense dropped to 17th somehow. Derek Carr, too many interceptions. Frustrating. Josh Jacobs was still really good. It's clear that we need a change. I mean, great numbers for our receiving core, including Darren Waller, of course, but we need to be a little bit better, as missing the playoffs is just not acceptable. So we'll do another season. Jeremy Blackburn had superstar dev. Let's go. 89 power moves already for Jeremy Blackburn. So, you know, he's probably going to end up moving back to D-tackle, depending on what happens to Fletcher Cox. That's a really good season. Good number of interceptions as well. So we just need to change at quarterback, I think. Jeremy Blackburn did win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Zeke won MVP, and the Chiefs won another Super Bowl with Patrick Mahomes. So this is my fear, but I mean, the Chargers really haven't done a whole lot. So I think we're close. I thought we got over the hump 2 seasons ago, or I mean, last season with 13 wins, right? 2 seasons ago now, but like clearly not, because we're back to 8-9. Michael Gallup, LVE's down from superstar to star. Merrick, Derek Carr's down to star. Yeah, it's just clear that we need a change. Got Nate Hobbs, got Alex Leatherwood. I'm letting Derek Carr go. Got Trayvon Merrick. I want Leighton Vander Esch back as well. So he's just too good to let go. Even if his dev trait dropped, 83 overall, gotta keep him. Now, going into what should be the final year here, the team is obviously quite good. However, we could use an upgrade at receiver. And there are some really good receivers in free agency. DeAndre Hopkins is one that stands out quite a bit. And I like our defense quite a bit. It's not amazing, but it is quite good. As we'll upgrade run stopper on Jeremy Blackburn here. I think, I like corner. We could use another defensive end or an outside linebacker, and then we could have Blackburn to D tackle, Sweat to right end, and then we'll have like a traditional outside linebacker there. Safety I'm fine with. Yeah, so let's think about that. DeAndre Hopkins and maybe an outside linebacker. We have the money for it. We have a lot of money. We've had so much money in this rebuild. Pete Warner maybe would do the job. I like him because he's actually going to develop because he's 27. Ooh, hold on. No, it's going to be Nick Bolton or Zaven Collins for sure. Wow, DeAndre Hopkins rejected. We did get Zaven Collins though, who is the perfect outside linebacker to make my defense work. Now, so we have two options. We could stay in the 3-4, which I think we're going to do. Montez Sweat moves down, Blackburn moves over. Collins to outside linebacker. We could try a 4-3, which would be Sweat defensive end. Nah, we're gonna stay in the 3-4. NFL draft time, of course, we don't have a first round pick, but that's okay. We do have a second round pick. It was worth trading up for that monster defensive tackle that we drafted, who played right end, won rookie of the year last year. And we don't really have a ton of needs in the draft. So just best player available. Don't really know a ton about these guys. I mean, the odds of actually taking a good player here, I feel like will be quite slim. But I suppose you never know. I'm going to take Khalil Springs here. Seems like he could be all right. Decent athlete. Good backup for right now. Welcome to the team. Normal dev, 85 speed. I don't know what we were hoping for there. I mean, we didn't really have information on anybody. So I'm not going to do that again in the third round. And I'll see you for the final season. Oh, wow. He was really bad. 65 overall. Love that. 81 overall corner in the draft. Keontae Brewer went number 1. 97 speed. Okay, yeah, he's pretty fast, huh? That's pretty good. Another 79 overall defensive tackle. Is he as good as the one we got, though? No, he's just like more of a nose tackle. We got, pound for pound, the best D tackle I've probably seen in Madden 22, I would say. Okay, setting up the team like this. Let's see what they're capable of. Defense looks quite solid, especially the defensive line. And then offensively, we're awesome. We just have to start John Beckham, drafted a couple years ago, and he's wearing number 99. I don't like it either, but we'll see what happens. This team should only get better over the course of the season. 86 overall, should be probably nearer 90 if things go well. Let's have a quick update at the midseason mark, and then I'll see you for the playoffs, which hopefully we actually make this time. Things are going well. 7-0. We have the number 8 offense, number 2 defense. That's about all I needed to see. I think it's pretty much a guaranteed playoff spot at this point. Like, I don't see any way we don't make the playoffs. Can I upgrade the players, please? Yeah, but at this point, we're just a playoff team. Will it be a first round bye? Maybe. Will it be an undefeated season? Probably not. It'll probably be 14-3. Ah, even worse, 13-4. And the Chiefs, who were what, 4-2, won out, and they won the division at 15-2. Unbelievable. John Beckham did have a good first year, though. About 4,500 yards, 30 touchdowns, 10 picks. Josh Jacobs had 22 touchdowns. Really good season from him. Receiving, Hunter Renfrow continues to go off, although he'll never get superstar dev for whatever reason. He's putting up really good numbers as a slot receiver. Darren Waller was really good too, focal point of our offense. Despite not averaging a ton of yards per catch, did have 96 catches. And then defensively, let's see. We had 6.5 sacks for Jeremy Blackburn and 22 tackles for loss. 14 sacks from Max Crosby. Yannick Ngakoue had 9.5, 6.5 for Blackburn and Collins, 5.5 for Sweat, and then 5 picks for Trayvon Mullen. But things seemed to work pretty well in the first half, and then took a bit of a turn in the second. We're an 88 overall. Tell me we're not going to lose to the Patriots in the wild card. 34-23. We won, and we are headed to Arrowhead to take on the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm hopping in. We'll play if we need to. Divisional round of the playoffs against maybe the 2 best teams in the NFL. Only one can come out on top, and this isn't even playing for a Super Bowl appearance. 88 overall against 88 overall. We'll see who comes out on top in this AFC West battle of Goliaths. Goliaths. It's a tough word to say. We are up 21-6 now going into the third quarter. Chiefs not done, but our offense seems to be too high powered, and our defense is keeping the Chiefs at bay. It's 38-20. The Chiefs are not slowing down, though. but we will finish 45-27. Big time win for the Raiders. Big time win for Las Vegas. 4 touchdowns for John Beckham. 3 interceptions for Patrick Mahomes. Tough day. Pick for Bernie Hood. Yeah, of course. Yeah. All right. Trayvon Mullen and Trayvon Merrick also had picks as well. All right. Conference championship for this Raiders team. Let's see if we can seal the deal and set up a Super Bowl. Oh, and it's the Browns. The Browns are always really good in simulation. Trevor Penning up to an 89 overall. That is nice. But the Browns are always really good in sim. Despite, you know, being a higher overall, this probably is not going to be easy. Game so far, 7-7. Browns take the lead 10-7 though, as they will extend it 13-7 after a field goal. We're into the 4th quarter now. Can we get a stop, please? Can we get the football? Nah, it's gonna be points for the Browns. It is 16-7, and we need to figure out a way to win this football game. We have Michael Gallup, superstar X Factor. I don't know what his ability is. I guess they call it run and smash or something, but I don't know what that does. We're gonna go deep over the top. Darren Waller, Mossum! Darren, please. Number 99. Will never not look weird at quarterback. But we can't be afraid to check down in this spot. I mean, we're not really down by a ton, but it is 2 scores. It is 2 scores, so we can't afford to be too slow, but also don't want to be too crazy. I can't snap the ball. We have a step over the top. Beat him, beat him. Michael Gallup has it deep down the field. That's Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah in coverage. You see number 28, you probably think that's a corner. But no, it's a linebacker in coverage. A good one, right? Like hybrid safety. You watch him play at Notre Dame. But still, we're going to beat him over the top when we have a receiver like Michael Gallup. And it is 1st and goal from the 3. That is open, and that will be a Darren Waller touchdown. Just like that. This is a 3-point game. And it will be a safety game after the extra point. That kick is good. All right, 3 minutes to play. Need the defense to make a stop. 1 stop, that's all it'll take. Oh, sack him. Let's go. Trayvon Merrick in there. Who's their quarterback, by the way? I have no idea. Is it Carson Wentz? I swear that says Wentz. Carson Wentz is probably their quarterback. That's interesting, I guess. Get after him, Blackburn. Oh, it's a run. Nick Chubb, nowhere to go. Timeout. Call timeout. 3rd and 20. Just run the football. Just run the ball. They're going to. And what a play by Jeremy Blackburn. We'll call a timeout. 1:49 to play. Really good defense. This usually doesn't happen in rebuilds. I usually get the ball run down my throat. And with 1:45 seconds left on the clock, Smith can't decide whether to return it or not. All right, we got to go 80 yards. Field goal wins the game. Darren Waller open over the middle. It's another nice gain. I want to hold on to that timeout, but time is getting away from us. I wish it was college rules and the clock would stop at 1st downs. This will throw to Josh Jacobs. We're going to call a timeout. All right, 23 seconds. Really would be nice to get out of bounds here. Michael Gallup, sideline, can't make the catch. We had the underneath route. I think Jacoby Myers in there, but I'm a little bit worried. I don't want to throw an incompletion and then have or even throw a completion downfield and then have the super crazy clock run off. That's open. Michael Gallup. What? What was the problem there? Why did he not catch it? Lobbed it up. He just put it. I mean, what is that? What just happened? All right, 4th and 4. Running the same play. We're going deep down the field. Darren Waller, I need you. Incompletion. I got screwed. Nuts and bolts. I got screwed. I mean, that really is an insane way to end the video, but we had a completion on the sideline, and for whatever reason, we didn't get the catch. I mean, he didn't even go for it. I mean, he kind of did, but I don't even know how to explain what happened. He went up to catch the ball and then kind of pulled his hands back, but the ball was also like 3 yards down the field, even though it didn't look like it was. Like past him. It wasn't an inaccurate throw. I honestly have no idea what happened. I need to get out of Raiders land, dude. I'm going to go insane. I'm going to go crazy. I haven't been able to make a coherent sentence or thought or even enunciate correctly this entire video. It's concerning. I need to get out of Raiders land. Everything is not going well. Max Crosby up to superstar, X Factor. Collins up to superstar. Built a really good team in this realistic rebuild setting. Did trade up in the draft a couple times, did trade back, did a number of different things, but based on where our picks were, which not that high in the first round usually, and we had to move up to make some things happen, I think we did pretty well. Built a really good team, spent our money wisely in free agency, and as you can see from our available salary cap, have a ton to work with still, but we can't make this video 8 hours long. So that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.
It's insane, I hit it at the park, bend bones. See me high step to the end zone. My life like a game, Nintendo. Playing with the best, let them know. Get off the track, the train's coming through. Yeah, promise you get in my way, then you best believe I'ma just run over you. Yeah, yeah. Pump a turn, taking it back to the house. Defensive joke, I'm laughing so loud. Speed burst good.